So historically, media studies at VIU made an explicit distinction between media studies courses, so courses that begin with the MEDI course code, MEDI, and digital media courses, so those that begin with the DIGI course code, DIGI. When the program was originally conceived of, the idea of digital media was new and exciting. It also helped serve the purpose of highlighting what was at the time a relatively unique aspect of the program, where we offer media production. But in my experience over these past 5-ish years, the distinction between Digi and MEDI, like Digi as production and MEDI as more theoretical, made sense on paper. But in practice, the distinction caused more confusion and division than anything else.
We are in the second year of a 3-year program review that happens to every department every 5 years. We were concerned that there was, in the last 20 years of the program's existence, this unintentional divide between the courses that had the Digi prefix and focus that were more hands-on and the MEDI courses that were more analytical. So in revamping some of the courses that we realized were perhaps a bit outdated, renaming them, updating them, thinking about balance between first, second, third, and fourth year course offerings and how the courses linked, we decided to rename all the courses with the MEDI prefix, not removing any of the experiential courses at all, but just updating them so that they had industry-specific and recognizable names, and that they were maybe a little bit more intuitive to understand for someone just entering the program.
As of September this year, all MEDI and Digi courses, as well as the Digi minor, have been merged under the MEDI banner. So everything is just blanket called Media Studies, MEDI now. So we still offer a major degree and a minor degree, and you can take the exact same courses to earn them if you'd like, but they're just called Media Studies. The mission or the overarching objectives of the department haven't changed.
The Media Studies merger, it's funny that it's got this big name because it's not really a big thing. It makes it sound like there were two separate things, but that's not really the case. It's a renaming, in fact, with the goal of trying to clear up misunderstandings. It seems like something that is complicated and is a bit of a fluster, and I get that from the perspective of having requirements that are in those different parts, and then suddenly having those different parts go away. But I'm expecting that it's going to be a very quick blip in terms of the sort of general student understanding.
Had this happened at a time when there weren't a series of program closures occurring, like, it would have been a lot easier to message it as like, we're doing something really exciting.
The first time I think I heard about the changes was honestly through peers, us hearing the digital was getting dropped from our degree. And we weren't that happy with it. The name digital media degree is a lot more catchy on a resume than media degree is. They dropped the Digi minor and they didn't communicate with any of us before they posted that. They didn't communicate with our chair that was even going out. So there was no warning for us being like, oh wait, no, you stay calm guys, like it's not as bad as it sounds.
My understanding of the curriculum changes is, I'd say, pretty low, and I think that's pretty common with a lot of us here. When I was applying for classes over the summer, I remember noticing that a bunch of I think it was Digi classes disappeared, and I got really concerned, thinking that I'm not going to be able to graduate because all my courses are gone, and I was required to have 2 more Digi classes under my belt. And yeah, suddenly it was gone. Really confused, not sure what that meant. I think that's what's really upset students and staff alike, is just there's a lot of unknowing. There's a lot of mystery.
We worked pretty hard, like as faculty at the start of the year, to really reassure students and make it known to them that we're okay. In the summer, they announced a series of program closures that are devastating, but they also included the Digi minor in that same list. making it seem like the Digi minor was being eliminated for financial reasons when it absolutely was not. Like, our program's enrollment is strong.
When that message went out in the summer, some of us had messages from former students who were really concerned.
Emails from students and alumni who were concerned that the program was in trouble. And it was just because of the way it was communicated to the public, and that wasn't coming from the department specifically. We didn't have control over that messaging.
It was kind of heartening to know that there's these people who are paying attention and feel bad that maybe something is going to go away, when in actual fact it's not going away at all. I'm not changing anything about the things that I'm excited about teaching or the way that I interact with students as a result of these changes.
At the same time, though, there have been some changes in terms of the number of media studies courses required to graduate, but those are not as a result of the merger. Those are part of a university-wide realignment with other institutions in BC.
We were told that we needed just 8 courses for a minor and 16 for a major. And then in looking at the revamping of the courses, we chose which of those 8 would be essential for the minor and which of the 16 would be essential for the major, allowing for as much choice as possible.
When I started, I needed to take, I think, 6 to 7 second-year courses. Now the requirement's around 4. If you're coming to the program now, I actually think it's a great change. People being able to go through our program and be able to take more electives and focus on maybe even 2 minors while they're doing it makes it so people can get more out of their university experience and explore more courses. But there's at least 3 or 4 classes I took that now are being counted as electives. If they had not been required courses, I could have spent time exploring other disciplines.
No matter like what your academic journey is, any change to your academic process is just really scary. A lot of people are collecting life-altering amounts of debt. I would like to also get a minor at the end of all of this, and I didn't necessarily plan on having these certain required courses. And if I drop them to focus on my minor, they won't be offered again for like another year.
I suddenly noticed there was a lot less options, especially for second semester for what I needed to graduate. You know, I want to graduate this year. I don't want to wait another year. There wasn't a lot of options, leaving me with only one option, which is just directed study, which I wasn't quite prepared for.
Because we're such a small department, and this is common in a lot of departments at VIU, we can't offer upper year courses more than once every 2 years. Required courses, we always try to make sure that those are available for students every year. But sometimes it just doesn't work out in the scheduling that there aren't enough of the right kinds of courses for students. So they end up using a directed study to kind of fill in a gap here or there. There's been some kind of shifts around with scheduling and that sort of thing, but nothing that would have been a result of the merge.
I wish I started 2 years later. Gosh. But that's okay, because I still got a lot of education that is like super helpful, and that's fine.